Hey everyone, Jay here. Many people ask why we left the Philippines after our daughter was born. The decision wasn't easy. Our lives were drastically changed by the pandemic.
The seriousness of coronavirus is becoming clear.
Just beginning. It's going to be anarchy. Maybe not the level of a movie anarchy, but it will be ugly for a while.
Lockdowns, shortages, and uncertainty made us reevaluate our future.
April 29, 2020.
Smiling.
I'm laughing.
This video shares our journey and the reasons behind our move to the U.S. I spent years observing foreigners trying to build lives in the Philippines. It's a beautiful country, but challenges like visas, finances, relationships, and cultural differences can be tough. Many people face setbacks and eventually leave. While it can be a great place to visit or retire, building a long-term life there isn't always straightforward. Welcome back. Good to be back out here tonight, guys. Just a quick little video. Trying to get back into a routine. I want to say thank you all out there for your support and all your comments that I've been getting recently. Even just checking in, seeing how we're doing and saying hi. It's really still overwhelming, surprisingly. I can't believe that many people still notice a video ain't out there as often as they were before. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate you all. It does help when we realize we can't do what we want to do with this vlog right now, but it was expected on our end. You know, we're busy right now. I thought it'd be a little bit busier sooner. But right now we're in the middle of the grind, so to speak, and I guess that's what we got to have in order to make Philippines happen anyway. So don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, like, ring that bell. We appreciate you growing with the channel. Hope to hear from you. Don't be afraid to leave comments, likes, and shares. Any of those would be greatly appreciated.
What are those?
The chickens.
While our time in the U.S. has been a valuable experience, our hearts long for the Philippines. This chapter of our lives has prepared us for the next, and we're excited to return home and build a future there.
We were often asked why we started off raising our daughter here in America instead of the Philippines. You know, after we decided to get married. You know, in the Philippines, 2019, my daughter's not even a year old yet. So, kind of rehashing a couple things here. You have to recall 2019 was just about ready to be COVID time. We could have spent the first 5-6 years in the Philippines, me coming back and forth maybe to work a little bit, or maybe we would have started a business together. But at the time, we didn't even know 100% we were going to be married yet. So 2019 comes, I'm back in the Philippines for the holidays, going to spend the first birthday in February with my daughter and spend some more time there. But then COVID hits and turns into over a year of me staying into the Philippines and going through COVID with them, because they weren't even allowed to do anything basically. She couldn't go get enough groceries, couldn't carry a baby, an infant, and she had no family in the city. So a lot of things really happened to change the direction we were going to go. When I came back to go to work, getting them out of the Philippines was a must. Like, there was no way to live like that. They were basically prisoners. And you hate to call it what it is, but there is no other words for it. They were prisoners. Kids were not allowed outside. Sure, some may have went outside, but when your local areas are rewarding citizens for tattletales, it's a pretty bad situation to be in. So. That alone was enough for me to start trying to get my family out of the Philippines. Fast forward a few years, she's back here in America. We all know these stories at this point, but we didn't know this at the time. And at the time, everything changed. My love for the Philippines was up and down. There's things I loved about it, and there was things I was getting a rude awakening to, including having a baby so fast in the Philippines. One. Getting them out of the Philippines was no easy task. In fact, it was almost impossible. We were told repeatedly, You're wasting your time. Stop attempting to get them out of the Philippines. Other than a blood transfusion, heart transplant in America, you're not getting them out of the Philippines. It's COVID, it's locked down, no one is leaving unless it's a medical emergency. And we were told that enough that you truly believed that was the only way they were going to get out of the Philippines. After a couple more attempts with Visa Emergency Services, I was very blunt in the situation that my daughter was in. And getting groceries even then was a difficult task. If there was any real COVID emergency happening with either of them, what were they to do? You know, everyone's very fearful of COVID at the time. Not everyone, but the news made you think that everyone was fully fearful of COVID at the time. So simply put, I asked Visa Emergency, what happens if COVID attacks my fiance? What is she to do with the baby? Is the baby going to sit there on the floor under a year old and just fend for herself? I was very blunt with this email, and I was straightforward, nothing rude, but playing off of what everyone's being told with COVID, I just answered directly, how is a baby with a sick mother who may be dying, how is she supposed to take care of herself at just a 1-year-old baby? And lo and behold, we got the lucky answer we was looking for. Did not expect it. In fact, I didn't even expect a response, much less the response that we got, which was your visa emergency was approved.
So we received a good news that our expedite request has been approved. Since then, since Jay called, I wasn't able to sleep properly, so I tried to sleepy, but my brain is like processing everything, like what I'm gonna do with getting all my requirements, because as we all know that there are so many restrictions when it comes to children, and I'm alone with Kiri here. So I still have to get my police clearance, take my 2x2 ID picture, and also get my medical. So I'm thinking, who am I gonna, hire maybe to come with us, and would they allow us to be with, to let Kiri go inside the mall or in the hospital, for my medical examination. Say hi, good morning. Today is January 20, 2021 in Philippine Standard Time.
That's changed everything. That is the reason why they're even here in America. I don't know that they'd even be here to this day had that visa emergency not got approved. It was our third attempt, I believe, and to this day I could get very emotional about that because it was such a relief. You're a dad to an infant baby, you want to really spend some time with it. The fact that I even had to go back to work for a little bit, that was hard enough, but not knowing when they're going to be able to come back or when you could see each other again, because there was no for sure I could go back and see them. In fact, it was well over a year after that point before they even started opening it up to tourism again. Well over a year after that. Being here in America right now, that's a lot of luck and chance to even be here. I don't know, had that whole situation not happened, we might have gone another route where maybe I just come back and work, then go back to the Philippines and invest and build things over there and come back here and work. But because of COVID and because of the situation, I have gotten back into doing what I do best, and that's working for myself.
Friday, and I made the wife come with me today.
It was getting really easy to hit the brakes on pushing things. It was getting really easy just to look in the mirror and go, man, you've earned it. It's time to coast. It's time to relax. And you kind of look around and you see some people living a certain way in the Philippines and you go, I want that too. But I have to be honest with myself. At 50 years old, at the time, probably 48, 49, 50, I felt like I was cheating myself. I wasn't ready to retire. My body's not broken down. I don't have that many aches and pains to where I can't still grind and put in a lot of effort and still build things. And I think looking back on things now, COVID was probably a blessing for me, because being a full-time nurse in the nursing field, nursing homes, taking care of elderly patients, sick, dementia, Alzheimer's, broken bones, broken hips, it's that whole world in dementia, nursing homes, geriatrics, nursing care, got me out of that, thankfully, because I was pretty much done watching elderly people fade away into oblivion, and it's just enough to run your motivation for any day when you have to go and work like that for 12 hours a day, then come home and pretend life is okay, life is good. It's really hard to turn that switch on and off every day. So getting back into America and pushing things again, I'm starting to realize there's a lot of ways to live in the Philippines. Some people look at it as a competition. You know, they live here full time, they don't live there full time, they have to go back and forth. My situation is better than your situation. When in reality, there is no best situation. Everyone there is a tourist. You're on a tourist visa for 2 months at a time, apparently now. I don't know if anybody ever feels like that's home. You can lie to yourself, you can feel good about it, or you can just take it for what it is. You're on a tourist visa. That's what you are on the Philippines, a tourist visa. There's a few exceptions, there's some other categories in there, but for most people, it's just a 2-month, 3-month, 6-month visa stamp thing. I don't know if it ever feels 100% like it's a home. You know, if you're constantly being reminded that you're going to have to leave the country if you don't do something, or if you don't fulfill an obligation, you have to leave. You're reminded all the time that you're a guest in the country. And even being married to a Filipina, I realize as much as I wanted to embrace the Filipino culture, I'm still an American. Everybody's going to see me when I'm in the Philippines as, oh, probably an American. You know, you hear the accent, you hear the talking. They probably can pinpoint me pretty easy. Will the Philippines ever be my home? I will make it feel that way for myself, as it already does. But I know 50% of the people out there will always know in their mind, it'll never be my home. Now, do I even care about that part? I'll be honest, no, I don't. It's my daughter's home. I got a few years left anyway. That's not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is my daughter's home. She's here in America. She spent her first 2 years in the Philippines, and she doesn't remember any of it. She wore a mask anytime she was outside, which was very, very limited. She didn't get to play with any kids in the Philippines, no neighbors' kids. You didn't know who to trust in the Philippines because you didn't know if your neighbors were going to tell on you for even being outside. So it was a very stressful, very life-changing experience, to be honest with you, that I will always have to keep my eyes open now because the Philippines is not in charge of pretty much anything. They'll be told what to do from other regions of the world, and they'll do what they're told, unfortunately. What happens in the future if we have another outbreak? Is that something I'm going to go through and endure in the Philippines? Not if I can help it. I'll be on the first plane out. When I start seeing the signs, I'll be on the first planes out of that country. That's not something I'll ever brag about. The world is getting a little crazy. So the more I see what's going on in the world, I'm kind of really glad right about now that we're here in America. I'm trying desperately to make this Philippine dream happen a little bit faster, but I'm not in a rush as I was because I realize even if we're in the Philippines full time next year, or even 24 months from now, that is not far at all. That is like nothing. 24 months? Me and her have already been married for that. We've already had, you know, our daughter is 5.5 years old. 24 months is nothing. I'm working with her family right now, putting together a few things. We'll leave that for another subject, but we're working on things right now, so maybe the entire family can do some things together in the Philippines. And if much as anything, it's just fun to enjoy the experience. For so many people, it always comes down to the dollar. Well, that ain't going to work. Well, this ain't going to make no money. Sometimes you don't have to make a lot of money to have a great experience and enjoy the things that you're doing. Sometimes you don't have to make money to stay in business. Sometimes it's just enough to enjoy life a little bit better, as long as you're doing something that you enjoy. And that's where me and my wife are at right now, just doing things in the Philippines that we enjoy. We can come back here and make money anytime we want. And in the business that I'm in, I kind of set the income. There's no limit on how much I can build here. We're getting ready to update what's going on here in America very soon because as I do things here in America, as you see for my daughter, it's all related to the Philippines. I love too many things about the Philippines in order not to include it in everything I do here. If I'm growing something here in America, it's to benefit me in the Philippines. I think things will be changing in the family scenario here very soon. And if it does, it helps me get to the Philippines even faster. being in the Philippines during the COVID situation, you really do appreciate some of the things about life, like being able to get away, being able to be safe somewhere. I remember being in the back of a condo in Cebu City playing with my daughter when she's just a year old, pulling her around the backyard, watching her play in her little bathtub. And, you know, looking back on that, I mean, it seems like forever ago, but it was just a few months ago, it seemed, in reality. Just a few short months ago, and there we were, locked down in the Philippines, making up little games outside with our allotted time that we're allowed to even spend outside, running back and forth to the grocery store, sitting in chairs, waiting in line to get into the grocery store on your day that you can have a pass to even go to the grocery store. All those things is like, you know, that's one of those things you're not going to forget. You know, 80-year-old man one day, I'll remember that time very well. And that was the time my daughter was born. So we'll always have that moment to share and experience together, because I'm sure they'll have lots of great documentaries about that time in the future, if they allow it to be on the internet. So we'll see about that one. But we got the footage of it, so that'll always be pretty nice. But now she's here in America. You know, we got our chickens going on now. Now I'm looking for a couple, you know, miniature goats. And if I can find a Jersey cow somewhere without having to travel out of state to get it, I got a feeling we're going to have a cow here very soon. Now, I don't think I'll ever have the cow in the Philippines. I don't think the cows there are going to be the kind of cows that I'm going to be used to. But, you know, goats and chickens, absolutely.
No, they
The rooster was crowing this morning.
You like the chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll let y'all feed him in a little while.
I want
Y'all hungry?
outfit. Oh, yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I like to dream. It's just what I do. It's what helps push me. There's a lot of things that push me. One, dudes in the gym, man, it's just like hairs on the back of my neck get going when certain types of dudes are in the gym. I love that feeling. I love that competition feeling that comes out when you're in the gym. You know, the same thing in business. You know, there's certain things that trigger me that I don't get every day, and honestly, I need it. YouTube brings it out in me as well. I remember some of the trolls I had back at the beginning. Don't have many now, but back at the beginning, I had some good ones. You know, they weren't over the top bad trolls, but they would make their comments. I'll be honest, man, it's some of the best energy you've ever had. I miss it a little bit. Not too much, but, you know, it works for me. I promise you, a good troll will get me off the couch and I'll drive that 20 minutes to the gym and just hit an extra workout. You take what you can get in this world to find your motivation. Everybody has their own sometimes, and sometimes if you don't have it, you need to find some, because we all need that extra little push. And for me, YouTube is that push. 2024, 2025, as soon as the season winds down here in a couple months, you know, it's right back to the grind at the gym. I've only been able to go to the gym twice in the last 5 weeks. You know, it's just, this isn't gym season. You know, you got to save whatever energy you got left working out in 100-degree heat, trying to get through these days, lifting and struggling through all this stuff. Just keeping the sweat out of your eyes is a large task. So, trying to make friendships, really starting to see who the friends are out there. You can, when you YouTube and talk to this many people, try to anyway, because you can't really talk to that many people that much. I mean, if you're talking to 50 people, imagine trying to talk to 50 people 3 or 4 minutes a week. I mean, how much time that adds up. What if you're talking to one person even longer than that, than this person? It's really hard to juggle. So you've got to be a good judge of character. You got to be a good, like, is there a point to these conversations? Like, you know, comments are great. I like the comments. I like interacting with people. And it definitely helps get to know who people are over time, because the people who started commenting months ago who are still commenting, I mean, it's like, hey, where's so-and-so? I recognize that now. It's taken a bit, but we don't even vlog that much. I mean, I think we've got a couple of videos out in the last month. You know, the easiest part of this channel coming forward in the future, it's just going to be vlogging about the family. It's going to be the simplest little videos, and we're going to take along the people who want to watch the family grow together in the Philippines and how we do it here in America and in the Philippines. I'm 51 years old. I'm not going to be in the Philippines full time, and I don't want to be in the Philippines full time. I've been there for over a year straight, and I couldn't wait to get out. It's great to get out of the Philippines ever so often. 12 months straight in the Philippines, I don't think I would do that with millions of dollars in the bank right now. There's too much of the world to see. I'd hit, you know, different, you know, countries without a shadow of a doubt right now. If I was just so loaded in money, I would not sit in the Philippines 12 months a year. I watch a lot of the vloggers over there. No, there's definitely way too much time on too many of these guys' hands. They're bored. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't have enough hobbies going on. And I don't mean that negatively, but it is what it is. You can see what happens when you're in the Philippines and you don't have enough hobbies. You're bored. That's what happens in the Philippines, especially when you're on budgets. So right now, I want to take you all on the journey of what we're going to do with my daughter, because she's getting older, getting to be more beautiful. Of course, I'm dad. I'm a little biased. And I really wanted this vlog to slowly transition into her life. Me in the background, overbearing father, without a doubt, which having her, it makes it even easier to stay fit, stay healthy and strong, because really, she's a child right now. She needs me to be strong when she's a teenager. She needs me to be strong when she's an adult. Especially if we're going to work together and she's going to go out in the world and stuff and do things on her own, and I'm watching in the background. I'm going to be older. But I promise you, I'm still going to be taking care of myself. I've seen older men who take care of themselves. And so guys, I hope this video was just a nice little update, talking to you about a few random things, just trying to get back in the flow of vlogging. If it does well, great. If it doesn't, the expectations weren't that high anyway, to be honest with you. But to all you out there who have said hi in the comments here recently, I thank you. I appreciate you all so much.
Good morning. Yeah, I like this little routine. Let's get up. Let's let some chickens out. Yeah, I'm just ready to go. So good morning, girls. Y'all ready? Come on. Yeah, I kind of like this. Oh, one in the box. See if we got any eggs. Nope, none this morning. But there might be something here. They were showing Mr. David. Cornfields behind us, all the way down there, which is way back on our other side of the property. But as far as the eye can see out there, that tree line, cornfield right now, all the way up there. Out in the front, across the street, is more cornfields. I've went up and down this road a few thousand times. Mm-hmm. My 16-year-old, my first apartment was right up here, about two miles.
2 miles.
19 years old in my first apartment. Doing
Why?
skanky 19-year-old kid things.
Huh?
Skanky 19-year-old girls.
I'm 19. I was studying that. I'm so like, I need to pass this exam.
That's where I grew up.
Like,
It's okay. There's good girls out here too. You just wouldn't find them hanging out where guys go.
yeah, there are bad girls in the
They were home
Philippines.
studying.
Bad girls.
Bad girls were out doing bad girl things.
Yeah.
Hanging out the malls. Flirting with guys. Guys flirting with them. Exchanging numbers.
It's
Going
fun.
at home on our home phones. Having to call them for the first time on our home phones.
You're lucky.
Getting nervous. Hanging up because you didn't know what to say.
Sweaty? Were you sweaty?
No, but calling girls when you were 16, 17 years old in the 80s was very different than today. You all, well, not you all, but today they just text each other, respond when you want to respond, come up with a great answer and respond.
Yeah.
Back then we had to hit some numbers. Yes, ma'am, can I speak to Sarah? Hang on a second. Sarah, it's Jay. Who's Jay? Who's this boy? Where'd you meet him at? How's he get your number? I don't want him calling after 8 o'clock.
You overheard? overheard
Oh,
it.
yeah, they just talk on the phone. You know,
Ah,
it's right
okay.
there. Hello? Hey, this is Jay. Jay. Yeah, the guy you talked with me yesterday at the park. Give me your number. Oh. Yeah, I'm having dinner right now. Can you call me back some other time? My mom's not, you know, she gotta use the phone. Okay. I never called back. That was my one shot.
Yeah. I'm not Sarah.